Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A beautiful little girl killed in a terrible crash tonight. Detroit police reveal why the mother lost control.
We had plenty of practice staying dry after last weekend, but we have got another 2-day stretch where we're going to get soaked.
Okay, Ben, but first, neighbors say it was all over a Facebook post. An argument boils over and ends with a woman shot. Police helicopters were in the air as they actively searched for the shooter.
Happened around 10 o'clock this morning on Cherry Lawn in the area of Wyoming and Linden on Detroit's west side. And Rod Maloney, they're live now. And Rod, we're hearing there's been an arrest.
Yeah, about 3:30, they found the girl that they had been looking for most of the afternoon. Happened at this house right over here. A group of girls was out front, and one of the young women came outside. They're saying, at least in the neighborhood, that it was a Facebook post, and it's another one of those sad social media conflicts. The victim in the shooting, 24-year-old Michaela Hill, wasn't even involved in the disagreement. Now, Detroit police won't confirm the Facebook post part of the disagreement, but they do say a 19-year-old girl who was angry stormed out of this house looking to shoot another girl she had a dispute with. There was a crowd of young women here, and police believe Hill tried to stop the shooting. Family is saying her attempts to calm things down only made matters worse, though, and the 19-year-old pulled the trigger as Hill grabbed her gun, hitting her in the stomach. We're told she slumped to the ground, badly bleeding, and family quickly drove her to the hospital. She's been with doctors much of the day and is listed in serious condition at this point. The 19-year-old shooter immediately ran away, and that led to a full-fledged manhunt by Detroit police. Helicopters overhead and a foot search lasted much of the midday, with scout cars flooding the vicinity in support. Detroit police found her not far away this afternoon, and she is in custody. It's a lesson in how quickly joy can turn to terror here. Yesterday was Michaela's 24th birthday. And so what comes next? Well, Detroit police pulling together all the information on this. They say they're going to get a warrant package over to the prosecutor's office, and they want to see charges of assault with intent to murder. Back to you.
Does that lead us to knowing when an arraignment might be coming, Rod?
Yeah, it's looking like tomorrow, and, you know, sometimes these things can drag out, but it looks like they want to do something by tomorrow afternoon.
All right, Rod Maloney reporting live.
Well, we just got video into our newsroom of an armed robbery this afternoon at a beauty supply store on Detroit's west side. Take a look here. This is K&L Beauty Supply at Finkel in Wyoming. And if you look closely there, you can see the clerk put his hands in the air as the robber brings another employee over with a gun to his head. He then goes right for the cash and takes off. The camera didn't really get a good shot of the guy, but if you know anything about what happened, call Detroit police.
We're learning new details tonight in the single car crash that took the life of a 6-year-old Detroit girl.
Police now say the mother was drunk behind the wheel when she slammed her car into this tree on Edmore Street on the city's east side. Let's get out to Sean Lay live. And Sean, has she been charged yet?
No charges as of yet, but we did just get an update from Detroit police. They say, yes, indeed, this mother was almost twice the legal limit when she was behind the wheel. A heartbreaking situation that continues to get worse. A horrible accident early Tuesday morning that is sending shockwaves through a family and community. Killed in this crash in an East Side neighborhood near Ayton Gratiot, this beautiful 6-year-old girl named Maya Tisdale. Her mother, Antonisha Tisdale, was behind the wheel. At first, police were investigating to see if mother and daughter were being chased.
What we have learned through the course of our investigation is that that's just simply not true. In fact, what we have learned, unfortunately, is that the mother was driving under the influence.
In fact, the mother was nearly 2 times the legal limit for drunk driving. Her blood alcohol, 0.15, close to being super drunk. Antonisha Tisdale was leaving her own 25th birthday party with little Maya in her car around 1 yesterday morning. Tisdale was almost home when she lost control, hitting a tree. The little girl lost her own mother, doesn't know yet that she no longer has her.
She has not woken up since the accident, so at this point she really doesn't even know that her child is dead.
Back here live, just a tragic situation here. We just checked with police that mom still in critical condition, still has not woken up from the impact of that crash. And again, she does not know that she lost her 6-year-old little girl in that crash. That's why, Kimberly, no charges at this point. Doctor's still trying to save her right now. Back to you.
Unbelievable. Okay, Sean, and I do have to ask, though, I believe there was another child in the car as well. If that's the case, how is that child doing?
That is the one positive to come out of this awful thing. A 1-year-old was in the car. The 1-year-old is okay.
Good. All right. Sean, thanks.
Now a Local 4 News update. A Detroit mother charged in her son's accidental shooting. Prosecutor Kim Worthy charged Shacolby LeMay Green in connection with the shooting of her 9-year-old son on Saturday. The boy shot himself in the hand with a gun that he found in his mother's purse. He is expected to recover, but the mother has been charged with 2 charges, child abuse and a felony firearm charge. Now to a developing story from Kellogg's World Headquarters in Battle Creek.
A hazmat situation there sends nearly 24 people to the hospital. Jermont Terry is following the latest developments from the newsroom tonight. Jermont, do we know what happened?
Well, Kimberly, we've been monitoring the situation all day on clickondetroit.com, but all signs right now point to this being the Freon leak causing this evacuation. Close to 1,000 employees work at the company headquarters now, but this hazmat situation was confined to just one tower. And while the leak happened this afternoon, we can tell you that this leak is contained. But the section where the scare started has been closed all day. The Freon is believed to come from a refrigerant leak in the North Tower. Now, that's where the majority of the evacuations happened today. If inhaled for long exposures, Freon can cause some breathing concerns. That's why those who complained of problems went directly to the hospital.
We've transported 18 people to Battle Creek here, Battle Creek Bronson here in town, and then 5 to Oaklawn. Latest I got was they didn't think anything was real serious, but again, we wanted to make sure we get them transported for precautions.
And again, no serious injuries reported. Still no word tonight when that North Tower will reopen. But you can imagine quite a scare this morning in Battle Creek. For now, reporting live in the newsroom, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Sure was. All right, Jermont. I-75 in Hazel Park back open at this hour after a dump truck overturned, and it caused a huge mess today.
You know firsthand.
I was stuck in the mess behind it, yes.
Well, the truck spilled dirt across the northbound lanes of I-75 near 8 Mile. This happened about 11 this morning. Police say 2 vehicles were involved in the crash and that both drivers suffered minor injuries. At this point, it's not clear what caused the crash. The police are still investigating.
We had a beautiful start to the day, but as you can see from this lovely time-lapse video that we shot from our Windsor Sky Cam, pretty cool, things are changing. Clouds coming in, and they're bringing trouble with it.
Yeah, and it's no small amount either. Let's head over to Ben right now. And what's the timeline here on the rain coming, Ben?
Well, guys, we've got the rest of tonight that I think most of us are going to be dry, and it's really tomorrow when we start seeing the rain. And once it starts, it's going to be a while before we shut the faucets off. Even though just out to the west, it looks like some of these showers may start reaching the Lake Michigan shoreline, but we checked some of the observations out there. Still, none of this is reaching the ground. It looks like it's really this area that's right there on the Illinois-Indiana border that's the first real rain that's out there. You can see Grand Rapids reporting dry conditions, still mostly cloudy with some sunshine there in Ludington, and then overcast skies. Chicago O'Hare still reporting dry conditions right now. But when we get finished with this 2-day stretch, Thursday and Friday, these are the rainfall totals that we're looking at, especially here on the east side, where we're going to get a string of 1 inch plus. Not only do we have the showers Thursday, but it looks like that low is going to get really close to us as we get into Friday, just enhancing those totals. So beyond that, we'll check and see if we've got a dry weekend and where temperatures go from here after a pretty nice day ahead for today. We'll check that out coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. Michigan has its first confirmed measles case of 2017. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services confirmed the case in southeast Michigan. They say the affected person is in the hospital and is recovering. Health officials say the case is related to exposure during international travel and that it did not originate in Michigan. Going forward, though, the department recommends the measles vaccination for anyone traveling to another country. Dr. Larry Nassar and his defense lawyers are back in court today.
And they say they are worried that he can't get a fair trial. Today's hearing began with Nassar's defense team asking the judge for a gag order on the proceedings. That request made in hopes of keeping accusers from speaking publicly about their allegations of sex abuse. The judge had this to say about that request.
First Amendment, I can't crush it. If it becomes a problem, we're going to deal with it on a case-by-case, situation-by-situation basis, and if I have to put a gag order on somebody, I will do so.
The number of accusers in the case has now grown to more than 100 women. If found guilty on just the criminal charges, the doctor would spend 25 years in prison. A Taylor man says misspellings cost him an election.
A brand new lawsuit says yes. Ahead here at 5, the bizarre battle over a seat on the Taylor School Board.
Also, the worst is right next to one of the best. The list of Michigan's healthiest counties is out, why some Metro Detroiters are celebrating, while others need to get to work. Karen?
Tammy Carr, the mother of Chad Carr, takes Chad Tough to Congress. What she's fighting for after losing her adorable young son. Next.
Tonight, new at 6.
A thief busts into an exotic pet shop, stealing 20 of the reptiles inside. We'll have what else he took that has the owners so upset.
Do-it-yourself slime is a big craze among children. Ahead at 6, the new warning after a popular recipe causes serious burns to a young girl.
Story of Chad Carr and his fight against an inoperable brain tumor not only captured our attention, but also, of course, our hearts.
Chad was the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr, and today, 2.5 years later, Chad's mother, Tammy, took her and her late son's fight for cancer research to Capitol Hill. Karen Drew is here now, and Karen, under the proposed budget, there will be significant cuts to research.
And that has Chad's family worried, as well as many families across the country. President Trump's proposed budget would cut funding to the National Institutes of Health by $1.2 billion this year, specifically targeting research grants. So today, Tammy Carr spoke on behalf of families affected by cancer to explain just how devastating those cuts would be.
When you think about 600,000 people lost a year, there's nothing worse. Like, how can we not be focusing on this?
Flanked by the heads of major cancer centers, Tammy Carr spoke from the heart.
I feel that, unfortunately, this was my role in life, and that was Chad's. And his journey was to create change, and this was to be his legacy.
The Chad Tough Foundation raised over $1.6 million last year for research into DIPG, the rare brain tumor that took Chad's life. But Carr explained that's a drop in the bucket.
I look at this budget and I think about all this promise, even just around this one disease, and the fact that 0 new grants would come out. That leaves just this one disease. That leaves it all in the hands of families like ours. Nothing's going to happen from that.
Carr testified progress has already been made against Chad's disease in just 2 short years. But cancer research needs more funding, not less.
I don't wish anyone to go through this to really get it. Listen to what we're saying. You don't want this to happen to anyone you know.
Members of Congress saluted Carr's efforts.
Your son clearly is here in our presence today, and you know that.
Everyone strived to have their life be a legacy or to leave a mark or to do something that will be reflected in history as a game changer. Your son did that.
Carr urged members of Congress to fight as hard as possible against the proposed budget cuts. And obviously, this is a political story, but at the same time, you've got to give Chad Carr's family some credit because they've already went through so much, and now they're continuing, taking that battle.
She really spoke from the heart, too, today.
She can't be any place she ever dreamed she would be, sitting in a congressional hearing room.
Very well spoken.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
All right, Karen. Thank you.
Well, we mentioned it really was a lovely start to the day.
Yeah.
What the heck happened?
As soon as you go wash your car.
That is what I did, and that is what you did.
That's what happens.
We both.
That explains
Benjamin?
the curse. Yeah, that's it. So you can write your tweets to Devin and Kim. You know, we said at the top of the show, we had practice over the weekend, dodging the raindrops, and now we've got another 2-day stretch. Where it looks like we're going to see more wet than not. As we look at 4Live radar outside right now, we've been seeing dry conditions, and we should stay that way. Just on the west side of the state, there are some radar returns, but this is all mid-level stuff that's not actually reaching the ground. I don't think that a lot of us are going to see any raindrops until at the earliest overnight tonight, but really it's going to be midday tomorrow before that rain becomes pretty widespread across the area. And this is the latest shot of the continuation of what you saw earlier with those clouds rolling in. It's been a very slow sort of ethereal process as those high clouds have moved in, and now they're going to get lower and thicker tonight ahead of those rain chances. 55 is where we sit right now, so we made it above average today. We've got those southeast winds at 7 miles an hour. Pressure is on the high side at 30-26, and the air is relatively dry right now. Relative humidity's are below 50%. And you look out to the west where the clouds are, those temperatures noticeably cooler out here on the other side of the lake. Milwaukee's at 40, Chicago's at 47, and we're holding on to the low 50s, even mid 50s here across the southern third of lower Michigan. That is going to change tonight as the clouds come in. Temperatures will be dropping into the 40s, and we're really not going to recover all that much tomorrow. Again, this is the stuff that's not really reaching the ground. The core of the wet weather is a lot further off to our southwest, which is going to delay its onset as we get into the next couple days. Here comes the low that's driving this, and you can see it's just going to be off and on showers as we get through the next 2 days. The 2 times that I think we'll have to really watch for this to be widespread, first is going to be about early afternoon, late morning to early afternoon tomorrow. That's going to be some of the most steady and possibly heaviest rain. And then the second is when that low sort of brushes us on Friday as we get into the late morning, early afternoon hours. It's probably going to reinforce those showers then. So when you take all those areas and even some lighter showers in between and total them up, that's why we showed you at the top of the show that we're looking at rainfall totals for the 2 days that are going to be somewhere between 1 inch to 1.5 inches, especially on the east side. So low temperatures tonight are going to drop to around 40 degrees. We're only going to rise to about 44 tomorrow. That's going to be a late high. In fact, it's probably going to be at midnight tomorrow night going into Friday morning, as temperatures will rise through the nighttime hours. And there is a possibility we could see a few wet snowflakes on the very start of this as that first push of moisture comes in. That's mainly going to be for our north zone. And if it sits on a couple mailboxes and some car roofs, so be it. But it's not going to last very long. That becomes all rain for everybody very shortly after that. So low temperatures tonight as we look at those in your 4-zone forecast, right around 40 degrees, couple upper 30s here, especially up towards M59. South zone lows will be generally the same with those clouds out. I don't think we're going to see a huge range in these temperatures going into tomorrow morning. So a lot of upper 30s in our west zone, couple 40s there in Canton, Manchester. Coolest spots will be in our north zone, but not too much further lower than what we're seeing in the south. 36 in Marlette, 35 in Sandusky and Lexington. And as we get into Friday, we get sneaky warm with those showers there on Friday. Then we start drying out as we head into the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday look great. Partly cloudy, mostly sunny. Temperatures will be above average. But the rain comes back again once we get into Monday. So those pre-April showers are going to bring plenty of puddles here.
I love the sneaky warm.
And the sneaky mention of snow, though. Was
that was sneaky, too.
Just a little, just a skosh.
All right, let's check in with Dr. McGeorge.
These blankets aren't for nap time. They're designed to help kids concentrate. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. See what is so special about these blankets and which students they could help the most.
All right, Doc, but first, an important recall alert from Ford. The potential fire hazard discovered in close to 500,000 cars and SUVs. We'll tell you about it next. Hank?
How tax thieves are using your personal email and the connection to your boss to rip you off. What you need to know to protect yourself in my Help Me Hank report tomorrow, starting at 5.
All right, welcome back. A Help Me Hank recall alert to tell you about. Ford is recalling more than 400,000 cars because of faulty engines and doors. The recall covers Escape SUVs, Fiesta ST subcompacts, Fusion midsize cars, and Transit Connect vans made between 2013 and 2015. The company says engines in those cars can overheat and catch fire, and that a faulty latch can cause doors to open unexpectedly. Ford says the cars are safe to drive, but you should go to a dealer if your car overheats. In Southwest Detroit, bandits made off with an ATM during a break-in at a liquor store.
This was the scene of the investigation this morning at Ken's Party Store, which is on West Verner Highway. You see thieves busted through the front glass door. Police have not released any descriptions of the suspects, nor about the possible vehicle that was involved. The investigation goes on.
Michigan Supreme Court Justice Robert Young Jr. is retiring.
He has served 18 years on the Michigan Supreme Court, including 6 of them as Chief Justice. Young says he plans to retire at the end of April, but will return to private practice then. So now Governor Snyder will be tasked with filling Young's seat. His replacement would serve until the next election, which will be in 2018. Changes are on the way to DDOT's reduced fares program. Seniors age 65 and older and those with disabilities are eligible for the program. It allows them to ride DDOT at a reduced rate of 50 cents. But people who have reduced fare cards will no longer be required to renew their cards every 2 years. Instead, they will renew them every 4 years. DDOT will also begin honoring smart reduced fare cards. Both changes take place on April 21st, so just about to happen. A new report ranks all of Michigan's 83 counties on the health of the county residents.
And the county named the worst hits close to home here. According to county health rankings, the most unhealthy county in Michigan is Wayne County, which ranked at the very bottom of the list. Good news, though, for Oakland County, which is named the 10th most healthy. Washtenaw County came in at number 8, and Livingston County made it into the top 5, ranking at number 3.
New at 5:30.
Millions of dollars now making its way to Flint. The goal to get the lead out. And as you will see, big projects getting underway.
Today on Capitol Hill, an update from the Senate Intelligence Committee, also looking into Russian election hacking.
The election process is pretty simple, right? You hold the election and then you seat the winner.
I achieved the right number of votes. I was the rightful winner to begin with. I won it. The Wayne County certified me as the winner.
Except in this case, where is it all headed? We'll let you know.
It's dinner time. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
Was it Miller or Myers? The race for a school board seat in Taylor now the focus of a new lawsuit that claims the wrong person won. It's the answer to the question, when is a victory really a loss? One Taylor school board member is facing that reality.
David Myers has been sued by Ronald Miller, who claims the school board seat really should be his. Rod Maloney following this story with word from both sides, this election dispute that actually should have been decided months ago, Rod.
Well, yeah, exactly. It should have been decided, and in fact, depending on which side you're on, it actually was. But let's look at this. They're felling forests trying to settle this case. 97-page response here to the original complaint, where Ronald Miller and David Myers are locked in that battle that started way back last fall. Ronald Miller's a retired Taylor school bus fleet manager who had a seat in the Taylor school board and then wasn't certain he wanted to run for re-election.
There was some issues coming up, and I wasn't sure that if, we could move forward in what I thought we should and such.
So he made his decision after the filing deadline and ran as a write-in candidate. Then there's David Myers, a Taylor realtor and father of 2 Taylor school children, who's a political newcomer, filed as a write-in candidate as well.
He's the incumbent. He should have been on that ballot from the get-go, but he went in as a write-in alongside of me.
The lawsuit points out the Wayne County Board of Canvassers didn't count the votes that didn't have the exact or pre-approved versions of the candidates' names.
I was kind of curious how, where I was at on November 8th at 11 o'clock at night to where I come up with that there was a 100-vote swing. That's kind of unheard of as a write-in candidate. Yeah, it does get to me that I'm trying to be pulled from a seat that I worked hard for, that I deserve to have, and that I passionately care about. The county certified the election, and they certified it inaccurately because the person that was sworn into the seat actually wasn't the one that tallied the most votes. I did. Everything says I won. I'm on the board. I got sworn in. That right there is enough to say I won.
Well, it's a good thing there are judges out there who can solve these kinds of disputes. There is no court date yet set in this thing, but rest assured it's going to be a while. They're going to be spending a lot of time and attorney's fees on this thing. And just as an aside, you know what the job pays? $1,500 a year. Back to you.
Well, Rod, have we heard from Wayne County on it yet?
You know, I called the Board of Canvassers office. I called their attorney, too. Nobody has anything to say there just yet, so we'll have to wait and see because they don't like to talk about pending litigation.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Rod. Well, soon hundreds of workers are going to descend on the city of Flint to begin removing thousands of dangerous pipes.
Today, the city is rolling out an ambitious plan to help make the drinking water safe. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester joins us. And the question now, how many service lines are they talking about in terms of replacement?
This project is huge. You're looking at a total of about 18,000 pipes in total after 3 years. 6,000 pipes to be taken out this year. The mayor is thrilled. This is great news for people looking for work in Flint, but those living in the city, well, they're cautiously optimistic.
Flint is now on the road to recovery. That road will be long, but the big work will soon get underway. This year alone, the plan is to replace 6,000 lead service lines. The goal? To replace almost 20,000 over the next few years.
I know most city residents with lead-tainted service lines are eager to have them replaced. You know, we all are. And I want to assure you that I am determined to remove every single one of them.
A contentious legal battle settled just yesterday. Now roughly $90 million will be making its way to Flint, and a good chunk of that cash will be used to tear out the bad pipes and put in new safe service lines.
The court settlement yesterday guarantees that we'll receive enough state and federal assistance to get all the lead-tainted service lines out of Flint over the next 3 years.
Local contractors from Flint and Genesee County being hired on to do the work. This project is huge. This will not only help improve the water quality there, but also the local economy, as the jobs will be from the area. Still, many in Flint are right now cautiously optimistic.
A lot of people in Flint are worried about the future. In fact, the idea that a lot of the water distribution sites, per the settlement yesterday, could vanish. In fact, the first water distribution site in Flint could go away in May, and then there's the possibility that they could all be eliminated from the city by September.
With a long time to go on the issue itself.
You're looking at 3 years to replace all the pipes, so that's a lot of work to do.
Sure is.
Thank you, Hank. Well, the investment and activity on the east side of the city of Detroit along Jefferson continues to heat up.
It does, and the big boy at the corner of East Jefferson and East Grand Boulevard, right there at the foot of the bridge to Belle Isle, has been purchased by The Platform, which is an investment group that includes Peter Cummings, among others. Cummings was behind the Whole Foods that went into Midtown, also part of the team that recently purchased the Fisher Building, by the way. But The Platform plans to demolish the restaurant to make way for new developments there as you head toward Belle Isle. It's been there for 50 years, 1967.
I've had a few patty melts there when I was working night side, because it was the place that was open. There. It was pretty good.
There, yeah. All right, Ben comes in now, and what do we got coming here?
We've got rain. Yeah. Got a lot of it. There's nothing out there right now that's showing up on 4 Live radar, except when you look out over Lake St. Clair. It looks like there's a serious thunderstorm, but that's actually a fire. In fact, when you look from downtown, you can see straight across the lake. There's several plumes of smoke out there near Harson's Island. So that is not rain that's showing up on radar, but you get those particles in the air and it reflects back towards the radar, which is what the radar is designed to do. So that's why we're seeing it there. But back out to the west, again, there are some showers that have been showing up in the southwest corner of the state. Most of the rain is going to hold off for us until we get overnight at the earliest, but I think a lot of it's not going to get wet until we get into early parts of tomorrow. But once that rain starts, it is going to be around for a while. So coming up, we'll look at our totals and when those faucets will finally shut off. All that coming up in just a few minutes. Devin?
Well, we haven't seen much of it lately, that's for sure, but we got a rare display of bipartisanship today on Capitol Hill as the heads of the Senate Intelligence Committee delivered their first update on the investigation into Russian election hacking. Senators Richard Burr and Mark Warner say their staffs have read thousands of classified documents, and now it's time to move ahead with hearings. Blaine Alexander explains that sharp contrast to what's been happening in the House. Blaine?
Well, Devin, the main message today from the leaders of the Senate Intelligence Committee, we will get to the bottom of this. Today, from the leaders of the Senate Intelligence Committee, the first public update of their investigation into Russian election hacking.
This was one of the biggest investigations that the Hill has seen in my tenure here.
Republican Richard Burr and Democrat Mark Warner say their staff has already reviewed thousands of classified documents.
Some of the techniques that Russia used in this election, as we find more and more, I think would send a chill down anyone who believes in a democratic process in this country.
Stressing bipartisan solidarity, they spoke in greater detail about where their investigation stands. Their investigation looking into possible Russian ties with both campaigns.
We feel part of our responsibility is to educate the rest of the world about what's going on, because it's now into character assassination of candidates.
The show of unity, a sharp contrast to the House Intelligence Committee, where Republican Chair Devin Nunes is refusing calls from Democrats to step down from the investigation.
We always want to keep the committee bipartisan, but at the end of the day, we're going to do an investigation with or without them.
Nunes being pressed to reveal the source of information that the president's campaign team may have been picked up on incidental surveillance, information he received while on White House grounds. The White House refusing to criticize Nunes.
We want this over as much as I think some of you, but we recognize that there's a process that has to take place.
As the president today works to move forward with his agenda. And the Senate Intelligence Committee will hold its first hearing tomorrow. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Blaine. Today, the long-awaited divorce proceedings between Britain and the European Union formally began. Prime Minister Theresa May invoked Article 50 legislation that kicks off the Brexit process. Britain has 2 years to negotiate the terms of the divorce, meaning it will leave the EU by April 2019. The negotiations could be heated. Of particular concern is whether Britain decides to remain in the EU's single market. This is the borderless trade area that also allows EU citizens to live and work without a visa in any other EU country. Former allies of New Jersey Governor Chris Christie were sentenced to prison today in the Bridgegate scandal.
Bill Baroni and his co-conspirator Bridget Ann Kelly were sentenced for engineering lane closures at the George Washington Bridge as alleged retaliation against a Democratic mayor who didn't endorse the governor. Baroni's going to spend 2 years behind bars, has to do 500 hours of community service. Kelly sentenced to 18 months in prison plus a year of probation, but both have said that they will file appeals. Back home, it was a big day for Cass Tech principal Lisa Phillips.
This afternoon, she was honored by the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals as Principal of the Year. You're looking at video from the event. Phillips was honored for her commitment to advancing learning through educational leadership. Congrats to her.
Everybody who talks to her comes away feeling the same.
Uplifted.
Very special, yep. It's one of the country's largest annual events, and there is a new push to bring it here to Detroit.
Ahead here at 5:30, who's behind it and why it could bring in millions of people and millions of dollars into the city.
And police say this guy has an entire college community on edge. What he's wanted for that has some students refusing to leave their dorm rooms. Doc?
These blankets aren't for nap time. They're designed to help kids concentrate.
Helps me not talking. Helps me get my work done.
I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. See what is so special about these blankets and which students they could help the most.
And be sure to tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for a special edition of Live in the D After Hours. Chuck, Toddy, Jason, and the gang will host the show from the iconic Cliff Bell's Jazz Club downtown. They'll show you the city's newest hotspots and have special appearances from none other than Duke Fakir of the Four Tops.
Love Duke. Love the Four Tops.
I know. Also, Detroit's own Thoretta Davis. She has a beautiful, beautiful voice. So
Thoretta,
it's going to be a good show.
Good guest list, you bet.
Make sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock right here on Local 4.
It's America. New at 6.
If you're a reptile lover, you know they're a member of your family. Tonight, a mother-daughter business team, they're really upset. Someone stole their entire store full of these guys.
It's heartbreaking.
We'll tell you how many are missing and how much they're worth.
Well, the Wings playoff streak is over, but let's put it in perspective. We'll tell you exactly what life was like around here the last time the Wings were not making a run at Lord Stanley's Cup.
That's been a while. All right, Jason. Good health tonight. When you hear blankets in school, that phrase, you probably picture nap time, I suppose.
Yes, many times in kindergarten, etc. But some teachers are using blankets for a very different reason. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is in the newsroom to explain. Doc?
We swaddle babies in blankets to make them feel safe, and we like to curl up under one ourselves on a chilly night. But now teachers are tapping into the power of a blanket to help kids who have trouble staying focused in school.
It's heavy.
They're called weighted blankets, and they do more than just keep students warm.
Go back and make sure you have punctuation.
These blankets are designed to help kids who struggle stay on task.
It makes me get my wiggles out.
Second grader Jonathan Walgren loves his blanket. It was made by his teacher, Christina Jungi.
It helps kids that have sensory processing issues, kids that just have a hard time sitting in their seats.
It helps me not talking. Helps me get my work done.
It may sound simple, but weighted blankets can be effective, according to Jeannie Coons, an occupational therapist at the University of Michigan.
Children who may have ADHD have difficulty calming down, settling in their chairs, who need just a little extra help calming and quieting their body so that they can learn and focus.
The blankets are designed to be about 10% of the student's body weight, plus a pound or two. It's often just enough to help center their wandering attention.
And they notice everything that's going on in their environment, so they may be hearing the fan or looking at the lights or noticing that somebody across the room dropped their pencil and not paying attention to what their responsibilities are in the classroom.
After finding out the blankets cost about $40 each to buy, Junji decided to make them for her students.
This blanket is made out of soft fleece material, and inside there is rice in Ziploc baggies.
A simple project helping students settle in and learn.
Feels like when you cozy up on your favorite chair at home and you pull a big comforter on top of you, that you just kind of relax and feel more comfortable and settled in, and that's what the weighted blankets do.
This is my blanket.
Some classrooms also use weighted lap pads instead of blankets. Experts say the weighted blankets don't work for every student with focus issues, but when they do, they are a really great tool. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Doc. Weighted blankets have also been tested in adults who suffer from anxiety or insomnia. They are not a good idea for anyone who suffers from respiratory or circulatory problems.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo, arguably the best soccer player in the world, but when his hometown wanted to honor him, didn't go so well.
No, Ronaldo's home island honored him this week by renaming the airport after him. But what's really making news is the bronze statue. Almost immediately after it was unveiled, the replica was described as anywhere from questionable to horrifying. Luckily Ronaldo put on a brave face and still took pictures with it for the fans. It seems like it's a joke. I mean, I appreciate the statue, but
well, maybe he's just too handsome to replicate. I don't know, but
he is